Hey, what's up? This is your girl Alysha P, and you're now tuned in to part 2 of the conversation, UMI.
But I just wanted you to give your point of view, but I dig it if you know.
Well, I don't really have a relationship with God.
Not that, well.
So I can't weigh in on what y'all are talking about. I don't want to be the person that's like, well, yeah, I'm out here floating.
No, but that's
That's what people, right, it's a perspective.
But I haven't figured out what anything is yet, so I'd be rambling.
But that's okay. Rambling is fine.
Rebecca, do you have a source? Like,
yes, the
do you
universe.
have a spiritual source?
A spiritual source?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I think any type of source is just like,
Energy.
I need a place of like tranquility, just like peace. Like I need to stop and just give time to myself for my mind to rest. And that usually happens like once every few months. But that's like my equivalent of...
Is it like meditating?
No, I don't meditate.
So how do you stop yourself? What is your stop? You realize...
I start saying no.
To whatever.
To whatever. When I feel like I'm burnt out or I'm going to be burnt out soon. If I feel like I'm going to be burnt out soon, I still go. But at the point of burning out is when I'm just like, I have to stop. And then everybody feels it. Everybody feels it. Everybody gets the attitude, or everybody gets the immature me, or, you know, or the person who doesn't show up or, you know, goes MIA. I just completely like withdraw from everything.
That's totally fine too.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need to decompress, and if that's your way of decompressing, then that's fine. But what is so when you get to that place and you stop? What is then your peace? Like, how do you find your peace once you realize, okay, I've stopped, and you're saying no?
I don't really achieve peace. I just achieve non-movement. Like I'm just finally standing still. But my mind still races, maybe not as fast as it does when I'm going crazy. I don't achieve like peace.
I don't
think I have
what
either.
Peace is. What is peace?
I felt it in Cuba.
Oh God, yes, on the beach everywhere.
I felt it in Africa.
I definitely
No, for a fact.
felt it in Cuba, in the ocean. I took a deep breath and I said, oh, so this is what living feels like. It was very brief. It definitely felt like what I would believe peace to feel like. And I was like, okay, I got to travel more because I think this is where I'm finding it.
Because I think, well, the thing I felt was things are bigger than you. There
Right.
are so many things that are bigger than you
Right.
that you haven't even experienced and seen yet. And I think that was the piece with I was like, wow, okay. Well, I
There's
have
so much more life.
so much. Yeah, there's so much more to accomplish, so much more to look forward to. But I don't really necessarily know what peace is and if somebody can achieve peace every day.
Oh yeah, wow, yeah. I feel like that's a task.
Or even every
Time,
month.
yeah.
I think I don't know what exactly. I think maybe there's a different definition for peace for everybody.
Right. I was gonna say I think for me it's when I'm in alignment with like what I'm here to do.
Correct.
But then it's like sometimes I'm like, well, is this what I'm here to do? So like if I start doubting things and questioning things, that's when I always lose my peace. When I'm like thinking way too far into it. And I think peace comes when I'm like absolutely connected to God, like all like 100%, like ain't nothing getting in the way, like
right.
faith, like that's it. Like when I feel crazy, I just go back to the word, or I'll talk to my mom who's like, you know, the prayer warrior. I'll talk to one of my friends who's a prayer warrior, because I think sometimes you got to speak over your life and speak over your situation no matter what you're going through. But peace is so hard to define because everyone has a different, like some people might find peace in the strip club, like, you know what I'm saying, like some men, you know what I'm saying, like
No, this
when
is
I
not
see a woman
true.
enter the top, I know
I know.
it's gonna be
tranquility.
tranquility. When she comes down, I am
Tranquility.
happy. I
Right.
don't know.
But I think it's what Alysha said as well. It takes work to find your specific peace, to find your specific, you know, solace or whatever. It takes work. It's not something that's going to happen a day. It's not, because
for
there's
sure.
so many moving parts
Yeah,
in your
Jesus.
day, you know?
Yeah. Wait, Rebecca, how do you get back to working Rebecca then? Rebecca that's like now on.
Because you have to be on,
Exactly.
which is the shitty part of working 9 to 5. That's another conversation.
Jesus.
I think the most recent moment I felt at peace, which I would say would be like bliss, happiness, was for my surprise birthday party.
You did look really
And
She did.
it was like so overwhelming and so uncomfortable for me that I had to leave. I had an anxiety attack outside of the building. Like I had to leave. He came with me, and I had to like control my breathing and like kind of calm myself, because it was like, first of all, it's happening. Second of all, it doesn't happen frequently. Third of all, it's in front of everybody. Fourth of all, I know somebody's gonna take it, or it's gonna leave soon, or it's not gonna last long. And it's like,
Yep.
why even indulge in something that's going to disappoint me?
Yes.
So I
So
don't.
that's where your anxiety
And it's not like I
comes
even
from.
have the conversation with myself. It's just like, that's just how I feel.
Your thinking process and your feelings.
It's not a mental thing. It's just how I feel.
Right.
Like, this is about to go. It's about to go. So why even invest in wanting it after this or trying to maintain it? It's just moments like these don't happen. When they do, it's very far and few. When it happens, it happens. But remember, it will go dark in about a few minutes.
Yes.
Really?
And that's like, it's like, then what's the point?
But it
'Cause-
hasn't gone dark.
No, it hasn't.
So how have you felt since? Do you feel a shift? I know
Yeah.
Scotty recently noticed a shift. We all noticed a shift in you, but have you felt like for you, turning 30 was different. Everybody turning 30 is different. But for you, you feel it?
I feel like I'm combating something that I don't want to do.
It's something that
But
you're
it's-
not used to.
But I know I need to get there, or I need to embrace it, or do it, or have it.
Yes.
I don't know why there's even a fight.
Because it's
completely
something that you're
beyond
not
me.
accustomed to. You haven't experienced.
But
a
I keep telling
euphoric
myself
sensation
before over
like
this. What
I'm
are
sorry.
you talking about?
I just had to be a jerk.
Before all this, I'm just like, I want X, Y, and Z. I want A, B, and C. I want this, that, and the third. And then it's like, I know I have to be fearless in order to get those things. But then when it happens, it's like,
you can't be vulnerable to it anymore.
it's not even vulnerability. It's just like, I know it's not going to last.
Yep.
Why is that the process?
But you don't know it's
because
not
it
gonna
doesn't-
No, no, no.
last.
And
No,
I'm not saying
it
just
did
you.
say it
I'm
comes
just
from
saying-
how you were raised and
Right.
Yes.
people in your life that did help to raise you, and things that were and things that weren't, or
Right.
things that
And
were at
things
one
that you
point
have
and
experienced.
haven't been
Yeah.
since then. So it's like, which I was saying earlier about you feeling like you're going to ruin somebody or ruin a situation. It's
Yes.
like sometimes I just feel ruined myself, as if I will ruin something else. I will
Right.
ruin potential. I will ruin opportunity because either I'm in my head or I'm just like, this shit doesn't, like, all right, that's cool, but whatever. Like, I don't
Right.
give proper weight to things that are deserving of it. You know, like, you should be proud that you have a show. You should be proud that, you amazing guy on your side and gave you a surprise birthday, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's going.
It's not gonna last.
That voice you just did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. I definitely agree. I don't know. I know it's not healthy.
Yeah,
I know for a fact that's not healthy. But whenever people said, if I got a little something or whatever, and they're like, "Why are you not excited?" I'm like,
Right.
"Cause that shit ain't forever."
Right.
But I think it has to do, like you said, with how people were raised.
Right.
And I think, I'm being completely transparent. I think it's with my first disappointment. I think starting from my first disappointment, and although I know a lot of people, I've read a lot of people saying, get over it. Your father's not there.
That's
Get
That's
over it.
crazy.
You got to get over it. You're 20, and that's what I thought. At 26, I'm like, "Nigga, get over it."
but
it happened.
but it's a real issue.
And it's your first love.
Right.
When it's your first love, and they leave, then you automatically think
Every other person
everything.
is gonna
If you
leave.
put your trust into one, like you trust your parents. Growing up as like a 5-year-old, you trust that these two human beings are supposed to care for you, and you think that they won't go. Everybody else might be going everywhere. These two will not go anywhere unless like unfortunate events may happen. But you don't even understand that at 5. I think at a certain age, at 8, whatever, when one decides, God didn't even decide, you decided to like heel toe out the way and not come up ever, then it's like, damn, anybody can do this shit. Anybody. So like whenever men leave or whenever opportunities don't last or whatever it is, I'm like, it's not supposed to. Shit don't last. Relationships don't last to me. I see my grandparents do it, but because they're in a different era. So I believe that in their era, that last because they don't have Twitter and Instagram. Again, we're not going back. But I don't think I'm right with Rebecca. I know it's not healthy. And I know there has to be a way to dig a little deeper into the situation and try to find out what are the first steps of doing it. But I don't know. I don't know at all. In
seeing both of y'all situations, though, because I know y'all personally, there is room to heal, particularly with your situation and how you have been feeling.
Who?
Rebecca. I'm gonna get to you, Scotty.
No, you gotta say it.
Say it for the people. Sorry, y'all. Rebecca, for you, there's a shift that you feel. Now it's about accepting it and not blocking it, because you recognize the shift. You know that it's there. Now it's about embracing it,
and
which I've told you, and not self-sabotaging the situation, because you've said, I can ruin something because I've done it before. But since you know that, it's about actively working. And I mean, that's why people say relationships are work, friendships are work. All of these are things, everything is work. You have to work toward things. You have to work toward even down to faith. It's just a matter of you actively working to better yourself, because even in you ruining someone else, you're still ruining yourself. Scotty.
No, I said those exact words today about, I said I wanted X, Y, and Z, and I know it's going to take work and effort for me to get there, for me, with you, for us. Yeah. So I'm aware of these things. I had to kind of like just check myself for a moment. But it's like, it still sucks because I still had to get to that point to have that conversation.
Right. I will say the positive thing in this,
went through the motions,
is that you know the issue. The fact that you know the issue is just, that's the first step to you actually tackling it and changing it. And changing those.
I know the issue, but it's like, it's kind of like, I know what it is, but I don't want to accept that
issue,
because it's like, I have to be like, that was the reality of the way I was brought up. Like, that's
not something that we all want to accept. I know there's things within, no matter how much love is in this room or how much love is outside of this room for us within our families, I know I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, familial situations are not perfect.
Oh,
no matter how people try to paint them. And when you have to look at yourself and look into your family history and the things that you were raised up under and the people who raised you, like Scotty, you were saying, when you have to face those facts and those issues, that's not easy. So
it's so much work too.
Yeah,
I don't think that's I'm like, yeah, you want to get better at it and you want to do it. But you know how much work this shit's gonna take. It's not gonna take.
And oftentimes, your parents don't always want to work through that stuff.
The rest of your life, sometimes it'll take the rest of your life to better yourself, and then you die. But at least you know that. And I'm not trying to be morbid.
No, it's real though.
It's gonna take the rest of your life trying to figure this thing out,
right?
Because it started from such a long time ago, where subconsciously you don't even know that you're doing shit.
Right.
You don't even know that you're doing the shit that I literally self-sabotage every day. Got to. You gonna leave. He gonna leave. This gonna leave. This
not gonna work.
This not gonna work.
They don't support me. They don't do this.
Nobody supports me in my head. No one supports me. No one loves me. And nobody is going to be with me or care. So get over it, kind of thing. So yeah, it's gonna take a lot of deep digging.
It is. And like I was saying, sometimes the people who gave us these traits and gave us these wonderful thoughts in our heads, sometimes they don't ever want to work it out. You can go to them and be like, hey, Ma, listen, hey, Daddy, listen, this is what we need to work through. And they'll be like, hey, kid, F you.
I got this much out my life. I'm fine.
It's not F you, but you know, it's crazy. Today I was watching I just picked up a new hobby. I watched the Braxtons. I know I'm late, but whatever. I was just watching.
Oh, you're about 5 years late.
Y'all fix my life too.
That
it's
too.
Not bad, bro.
I was just watching the Braxtons, and they had an issue with their dad and their dad's new wife, and it came down to the point where Mr. Braxton was the issue.
Yes.
And they had to all face that. But I'm saying all this to say, like, your dad, your mom, once you become an adult, it's a whole different ball game.
Stuck in your way.
It's a whole different ball game.
Lord Jesus.
But they're also, I know for my mom personally,
They're stuck in their way. That's it.
Yeah.
They lived their life.
Guys,
they had it.
It's certain, for certain
different.
people, it's beyond even a conversation. It's beyond an approach. It's beyond a. Do
Yeah.
you know that you?
No.
It's not.
Why?
It's not. That's not even a stage. It's literally, you got to get through this yourself.
Yes.
It's not even just, but see, when you stuck in your way, at least you can still have a conversation with your mom. Like, it's
What?
impossible to talk to my
I
mother.
know she's talking about.
You know.
It's impossible. Yeah, I'm talking about Diani. Well, all you guys. It's almost impossible, and I
Tony?
really think it's a no. I just think it's a. I just think it's the Haitian. I really truly believe it's the Haitian culture.
I do.
It has to be.
Caribbean culture.
Caribbean culture. I just
yes.
had this conversation with someone. I forgot where I was. Oh, I went to this another self-love conversation in Jersey on Friday before I got arrested. Anyway,
Friday night.
That's what it is.
Friday night.
Regular Friday night.
But they were asking, like, there were Caribbean women in there, there were Latin women, Latina women in there, Dominican women specifically. She was saying she's been judged a lot, and all this other stuff. But a lot of times, and I'm not making an excuse, it is the Caribbean culture, but the African American culture, the whole African diaspora has a way of doing things.
Right.
We're raised differently than
No, for
other
sure.
cultures. And
But
what I'm
Caribbean-
saying is, it's a lot to do with our generational curses that have been
Yes.
passed down generation to
true.
generation.
This is true.
And it dates back to when we were, not to go all motherland, but it does date back to when we were stolen from our country, brought to a new land, having to give our children up, having to decide, are we going to raise our children as slaves or not, having to hear the master, like, it's a whole
No,
lot.
for sure. I
It
agree
is.
with that.
So it's not, like, what I'm saying is, it's not just, yes, the Caribbean culture as far as, like, parenting and motherhood is super different, but there are ways in the, Black culture of motherhood that is very, very similar, very stuck in their ways. Oh, my husband left me and he went to do X, Y, and Z. So yes, I'm gonna treat my daughter who looks just like him. In your case, Deani, I'm sure you've experienced like this. Or I'm gonna shield my daughter, in my case, from doing certain things because I don't want you to experience what I experienced. And that may not always be good.
Yeah.
So
I know my mother went through a lot with, my family is from Belize. My mom's family from Belize. Speaking about your feelings and how you feel about anything is not even a thing to my grandma. My grandmother, she passed, but to her it was like, you got bills to pay, and you got a mouth to feed. Figure it out. And if you don't have a mouth to feed, you still got to pay bills. And I'm really not proud of you for this. I just want to see you pay your bills.
Right.
That's it. That's all that really mattered about my grandmother. She really she didn't know radio. She was like, radio doesn't have money. You know what has money? Nursing.
Yes.
Nursing will always have money. Be a nurse, or else you'll be a disappointment.
Right.
And my great aunt, my mom's great aunt who raised her, is one that was like, no, do this radio thing. You know what I'm saying? She brought everybody here to this country. So what anybody else has to say does not matter. And great aunt says whatever it is what it is. So I totally understand that part, and where it's hard, I think my mom wanted to change it a little bit. And I see it with my father's side, who's completely Negro, like Kentucky raised. My grandmother doesn't speak about feelings at all. I have never, actually to this day, on my hand up to God, I've never seen my grandmother feel hurt about something or ashamed or anything.
Any
She
feeling,
does not have,
anything.
she'll be happy you came by. That is it. Whenever I had to break up with my boyfriend, I'm telling her, I was like, Grandma, you'll be fine. You will be fine. God is in your life. That is it. Be on your phone with your mother. I'm like, thanks. That's it? Yep, that's it. That's all she, and when it comes to her son, who's my father, she doesn't talk about it. Won't talk about it. Unless it's positive, which is very hard to do when speaking about my father, she won't talk about it. She'll just block it out of her mind. So Yeah, I think it's just it's a black thing. They just don't talk.
It's black. Yeah,
Ain't
my
nothing
mom.
talk. We ain't talking about nothing.
My mom is like that. She's like a Aries, headstrong. Like, I told you he was gonna cheat on you. I don't even know why you acted surprised. I was like, I'm 17 and it's my first love. Like, what do you mean? But I told you, like, he went to college. That's what happens. And I was like, but I just don't understand. Like, we were gonna get married. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think that is a black thing
black
too.
thing.
It is
Yeah.
because they were taught to mask their
Everything.
emotions.
It was about work.
It was that's all that it was about. And then when you take it to the Caribbean, it's like first of all, we're in a poor ass country, and you want me to feel some type of way,
And you got feelings.
And I'm
about
this is
what?
no right. This is no disrespect to the people listening. This is no disrespect. All of us are 5 different women. We have many walks of life within our lives. So I feel like we could put some type of knowledge on this. But like, that's like I totally get it, and I do think it's a cultural thing from the African American culture even down to the Caribbean cultures, subcultures, what have you.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, and you can break it with your kids. I think with your kids, you guys can push that forward and help your child not experience the same thing.
My
You know what
dad
I'm
has
saying?
always been the balance. He was always like, "Come on, G, let's talk." And so, like, it helped.
Right.
Definitely a lot.
I don't even
'Cause-
think it's a generational thing. I just think you just have to be that kind of person to be like, all right, this cycle ends with me
Yes,
now.
that's what I'm
Because
saying.
it's not like, okay, so my boyfriend's mother unfortunately had passed away, but whenever he talks to me about her, the abundance of acceptance and love and no judgment and support that she gave to him, regardless of what she went through with her family, has always been like so attractive to me, so magnetic to me. So like he clearly embodies somebody who feels that, who has felt that, who still feels that. So it's not even, I can say, put a blanket over Caribbean people and black people. It's just people who have been hurt and ruined just deciding to live in the hurt and ruin
Yes.
as time persists.
Yes.
It's just it's a personhood issue. It's nothing from how we were raised. It's just understanding the world beyond the circumstances that were dealt to you and being like, I'm not going to let this persist in my generation or in the children that I have. And that's a decision that his mom made. And thanks to her, he is the abundant person that he is today.
Right.
And that's part of what's showing me, like, he's showing me how to live like that.
Right.
Or how to accept that. So I just say all that to say that I can't agree with putting a blanket over like black and Caribbean people. I just think
Definitely
it's people
not.
that are ruined or people that are
Right.
hurt and haven't dealt with that, continuing to push that onto their offspring and their children, people they come in contact
Yeah,
with,
Because
because they haven't
they
resolved
don't know
it.
what's wrong.
You
They don't know what's
also-
wrong, or
Some
they
people
just
don't know
like,
what's wrong.
you know.
Some people don't think it's that much of an issue. Some people don't think it's ruining your life. Like
The
they
know
don't.
what's wrong thing is for sure 85 to 98% of the problem is that you really just don't think it's wrong.
And people
we're just
don't know
gonna go
how
ahead and
to love
continue-
either.
Continue to do it. You'll get over it. You'll be fine, kind of thing. And that's not okay. That's why I think I'm blessed to have a mother that was like, that was not what I went through was not okay.
Right.
I have to change it because and not only does she have a daughter, but she has a daughter who has no father. So now, and a son. So now she has to change the way she communicates with us because that's easy money to shut down. I'm a shut downer. So, the way you talk to your kids, I think that's what I think hopefully if I'm blessed enough to have kids, I would push that, and stop the cycle.
Right.
Of like, because I still see it in my mom. I still see it. I still see her not being able to communicate with men, period.
Right.
Mom's just bad at it.
But not just communicating with men, just being able to communicate or just being able to say, you know what, I'm not going to be like the things that I see in other people that I do not want to be. You literally I've talked about this switch before. You literally have to go in your brain, search for that switch, and physically turn it off and say, I am not going to be this person.
Yeah, but you might
and
be
I am not
subconsciously doing it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
There's
you
certain
do.
things that subconscious. I do that my mom does.
No, yo, for
and I'm like,
sure.
oh my God, I'm doing the same thing. I'm bitching
No,
about stuff
for
that is
sure.
completely
You definitely go back and
pointless.
forth with yourself, and you get to a place where you
So
realize,
it's not really a switch. You can't really switch it off. I wouldn't say it's a switch. You know what I'm saying? It's harder than that. You know what I'm saying? There's these things that's been embedded in your mind from the beginning of time.
No, I know. Trust me, I get it.
So you can't really switch it off. But I would say work towards trying to take yourself out of it a little bit more every time. You know what I'm saying? With moderation.
What I do is like, all right, stop. You're doing it. Stop.
Right.
Now, I don't get to the point where it's like, okay, talk positively to yourself, but at least I get to the point where it's like, stop. You're doing it again. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Right.
And then I breathe better, and then things, I can go about my day. But I think it's just acknowledging that you do things to yourself to stop yourself or thwart yourself.
And that's what I mean by
stop.
turning it off. I mean in that sense of turning it off. Not just turn it off and then the shit's gone forever. I'm talking about pretty much what you're saying. You see it, you acknowledge it, you turn it off. You switch it off. And you say, okay, I'm doing it again. You turn it off again. Because it's a consistent thing where you're going to battle yourself back and forth, because sometimes maybe you turn it off and it's off for a while and you're good, and then you get back in a space with maybe a parent or a friend or a boyfriend, and you don't even realize that you're in that space again until you do that again and say, wait, I'm putting myself back in this place again. You gotta stop. I know that I do that. I get to a place where I'm good, I'm positive, I'm whatever. Then I have a conversation with my mom, and I'm doing the same shit she's doing. And I'm angry, and my temper's short. And I'm screaming and crying, and I'm yelling at my boyfriend, and he doesn't deserve it because he's right there. Or I'm not talking to my friend because she's pissing me off. But I have to really legit say, yo, you're doing it doing it again. Turn it off. Flip the switch off, and keep it moving.
But then also physically remove yourself, like.
Yeah, but
for some people, it's like maybe I just need to not be in this toxic environment and
what Tafira
move
does.
the fuck on and not be around you or this place or this circumstance. Like I need to. But then, the only thing you can really do ever is shit for yourself. You control you. What are you going to do for yourself?
But what if it's a place like home?
That's what I was gonna say. Cause
then you gotta go back. You know what I'm saying? Like if
you don't have to.
What if you don't have the funds to move out?
I
know what I'm saying? And that's a toxic ass home.
I guess it all goes back to letting yourself let people know that you need them.
Right.
God forbid this happens. Who can I count on to be like, I need you right now because I kind of can't support myself to live by myself. I need like 2-3 months, but I need you to support me. I'm gonna get there. I just need you to just help me because I can't take all this by myself right now.
And some people are just scared to move out the house too. You know what I'm saying? Because then you just out here.
For me,
you literally just out here. Just homeless. You really are homeless, bro. So
for me,
one pair of shoes.
It's hard.
Oh my
It's hard for me to be selfish.
You better work your ass off.
It's hard for me to be selfish when it comes to my mother, because seeing my mom not necessarily struggle, and I hate to make it seem like my mom is this terrible, depressed person. She's really not. She's been through a lot since my father passed. She's been through a lot since my father passed. But it's just, I don't want to cry, but I cannot be selfish to my mom. Yo, I can't do that.
What do you mean you can't leave her?
Your
not
mom
leave her, but I can't.
You're like my sister.
Let it out.
I can't.
You're like my sister.
Can't see my mom struggle like she is, man. I can't.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
She's not happy.
Okay.
And I feel like if I leave and be happy, I'm not being a good daughter. And that's really hard for me. I can't see her not, knowing, if I leave and I'm happy, I'm living life, and my mom is home and she's not good. I feel like that's selfish of me to live my life without making sure my mom is good. And that comes from losing my dad. Because if my dad was there, I wouldn't have nothing to worry about. You know, my father would have to not take on that burden, but have to worry about my mom.
They would have each other.
And they would have each other to figure it out. Mm-hmm. My sister is, with her husband, and my brother is with his wife. I'm not married. If I was married, it'd probably be a little different. So for me, it just feels like I can't be selfish when it comes to my mom. So I put her feelings first.
You don't think that you are a reflection of your mother, and what you do and what happiness you serve is going to hit her too?
I do, but I don't know how to move past that. Like, how do I don't know, y'all. I legit don't know. I said this to myself yesterday. I do not know how to do it anymore. 11 years, the last 11 years have been fucking tough. And I have to sometimes commend myself and do that IG check you were talking about, Gia, and realize, like, you're not doing so fucking bad. You're actually doing okay. You're not where you're at. You got to remember. But I really just don't know what to do anymore. I'm to a place where it's like, yo, I got to live my life, but I can't get a phone call one day and just hear that something happened to my mom and just feel like I didn't do 100% to make sure my mom was good. Because that's how I felt with my dad.
But
like,
you
I didn't do 100% to make sure that he could possibly be here today.
Here's the
I
thing.
don't want that feeling again.
And that's totally understandable. You don't want to lose yourself in trying to please your mother so much that you give up or you let go of everything that is going for you. So the thing that I would suggest is finding the balance between, and I mean, like, I get it, because it may sound like you just want to please your mom, but that's not the thing.
Yeah,
you just want to make sure she's okay and that she's satisfied and she's living okay because of
that's it.
But the thing is, you can't carry your mother's hurt. You can't carry the burden and the pain, because what you may think that you're carrying for her is probably 10 times bigger, because she's the one that's really going through it.
Right.
So you can't carry that. At some point, you're gonna have to find some balance, have to find some silver lining, some middle ground on how you can be. You can't serve two masters.
Yeah, I definitely agree with there, because I feel like the energy and the emotions that you have about your mom are holding you back from like being the greatest version of yourself, which will probably set her up to be living that great life that you want her to live. So it's like, while you're absolutely a great daughter for feeling, that you want your mom to be good 100%, you're a great daughter. You're not being great to yourself with that type of heart, that type of hurt on your heart. I think your mom, if she knew that you felt this way, would be like, I'm gonna cuss her out. If she even thinks that I want her up under me, she's on nerves. She probably would tell you get on my nerves, and I want you to get out anyway, so you can go live your life. But I think that at the end of the day, you have such a big heart. So you'll never forget. You're never going to be like, I am in Saint-Tropez and I don't care about my mom. Who is a mother? I don't understand. What are you like? You're never.
I birthed my son.
I came a mother. Mother who? Like, you will never be that person to like think that your mom is not here.
Sorry about now. Sorry.
No, you won't.
I'm sorry.
So, you can't think like that.
I think parents are, when they get older, they are the reflection of your happiness and the success of their children and what their children have done, whether it be have kids and have a big family and whatever it is, or have a successful job, or just doing what exactly you love. I think that I'm not speaking for everybody, parents.
Right.
But I do know, like, that's what they are so most happy about. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she wouldn't be against you living your life, because she would want you to be happy, because she wants to be happy.
Right.
And to see all three of her kids happy is something that I think all parents want to see. I don't think, I don't think she wants you to just throw away your life and be an AT&T.
No, I don't think
not saying that AT&T people. No.
I used to work
Let me
for them
clear this
too.
up. AT&T, y'all got great lives. I'm not saying that, but it's just because Alysha does not want to do that for the rest of her
Again.
life.
Life might be better than mine.
Right.
Sounds
No,
about
I
it.
mean,
Your
I
life
don't.
really might be better than mine, really speaking.
Right,
Like, you
living-
got
Right.
no pillows on your head.
Right.
So, go ahead.
No, I know.
pillows.
I don't think she.
It's expensive.
I don't think she doesn't want to see me happy. I don't think that's the type of mom I'm dealing with. It's just the guilt that I have, and I realized this within the last year or so that I really deal with guilt, very, 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 very. I have a lot of that. And I know why, and I'll open up about it in another episode. But I don't
do it now.
No, we'll be here forever.
We ain't got time, bro. We gotta go.
I'm joking.
But I'll bring it up. But I
Shame.
deal with guilt, and I feel like that is what if I leave, or not necessarily leave, but if I, let's say, move to LA because I want to move to LA for a year, and I just know my mom might not be doing well at home, I wouldn't be at ease there. So it's just a matter of me just, again, and it's crazy we are having this conversation because two of my friends that I randomly ran into today, we had this conversation, and I guess this is something I just really needed to hear because I really have been struggling with it.
But let me stop you real quick. I don't know if you're. I know my parents have always said we have done things in our life for you so that you can do better than us.
Yep.
Yes, my mom says that all
And
the time.
I think that, like, even if your parents have never said that to y'all, I think that's how you should live.
Right.
Like, I know for sure, like, Tony and Chloe, they've provided for the kid. They still provide, okay?
Those are her parents, everybody.
Those are my peoples.
Yes.
But I know that I want to work 110% hard at the things that I put out because I don't want to ever, be like, damn, my parents were this and I'm just a burger flipper at Burger King. And no shade to people
shout out
who
to the burger.
No, shout out to
listen,
Burger King.
I'm
Y'all
saying
y'all
it,
poppin'.
no
Flip the best
shade.
burger.
Fries
I'm
still popping.
saying it. Thank you guys for the disclaimer.
I'm just letting you know.
Not shading
Y'all
that.
flip the best.
Y'all
The
flip-
grill is amazing.
But what I'm saying, for me,
Still got the grill
first and foremost-
prints on
Grill prints
on the sandwich.
Y'all finished?
Let them
It's
damn
not
patties
right.
go. Put
I
the
was,
patties down.
I was disclaiming. No shade to the people that flip burgers.
Yeah, but we got to
you
do
do
more
it
'cause
amazing.
It's just crazy.
That's just wrong.
gotta
I'm
give
just
them the grill,
saying.
the grill.
Okay, fine. I'll give another scenario. I don't want my parents to have done all of these amazing things in their life,
Right.
and I
Settle.
am just sitting in the house
That's literally
in my
settle.
underwear. No shade to the people that sit in their
Yeah,
house
sit
in
in
their
underwear.
you sit there the best.
You sit down the best.
No, you sit the
sit
best.
You know.
You watch the best TV.
Okay.
Chill out.
Even
No,
though
I
you're
mean-
like my mom is about to get her doctorate. How I look?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Sitting in my underwear, sitting there the best. Okay, so I think
I hate
no,
y'all.
seriously,
No, but I get it.
I
get
do
it.
think it's okay at one point for you to sit down and be like, yo, Ma, I love you and I appreciate everything that you have laid out for me. Even if you're not feeling your mother, there's days I don't feel mine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that's like 3 days out of the week. But
Girl.
there's days where you just got to be like, listen, I need to go get this guap in San Tropez.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I
That's
noticed
a good
once
thing.
you leave your mom,
She lives the best life she could live.
Get
both of
closer.
y'all, both of y'all get closer. Me
That
and
is
my
a
mom are
fact.
super close.
That's a fact.
Once I got out the house, it's like
So true.
That's too close.
Yeah,
Me
when
and
I went
my
away to
sister-
college, when I was
Bruh.
on campus, she was calling me.
I used to
miss
speak to
you,
my mother
I love
every
you.
day.
My mom
Because
was
we
not
need
like
that
that.
space. You're an adult now.
Exactly.
You
I
need
live with
that
her now
space.
again. I don't want to speak to her every day.
I mean, who wants to speak every day to anybody? So my thing is like, I don't.
My mom makes me speak to her every day.
Oh no, I speak to my mom every day
Be like,
on the phone.
what are you doing?
But it will never be. I see you every day.
Oh yeah, no.
Cause I can't do it. I can't do it. Not now. But I think that I think Alysha, I think you living your best life would make her happiest.
Yeah.
Period.
Go ahead.
And so
Doper.
doper. Now,
I hate
now that we've given you 102 minutes of our time,
Over 102.
please subscribe.
Yes, rate, comment.
Like, follow us on Black Girl Pod, Instagram, Twitter.
Facts.
And thank you. Everybody go around the room and
One more time.
give your socials.
One more time.
Again, you will be listening to this for your whole day. So I would think, sit down,
110.
get a coffee. It's gonna be a long
Get some
one.
snacks.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym. Oh yeah, I saw that somebody said they were listening to us on their treadmill.
lot of
That's
people
popular.
say that.
Trying to make me feel bad. Again, we gotta talk about health for real.
Yeah, next week.
Because I would like to talk about
But next week.
Yeah,
Next
next
week.
week we gotta talk about lettuce burgers and
That's Rebecca.
and
We're
yeah,
not
that's what I'm saying.
talking about lettuce burgers.
I love the
next
fact
week.
that lettuce and
We're not
the
gonna
bread,
talk about it this week.
and also
either.
working out because I don't do it.
I've been
So,
working out. I have a trainer.
You talk about Gia's
Yeah,
transformation
she's popping.
into a bad bitch.
Oh
And
wow.
Daddy
Alysha's
G.
gaining of the weight that she lost and why.
Oh.
Yes, and if
And
you haven't
Rebecca's on a
noticed,
master cleanse, so you guys should try that too.
oh, Rebecca, you're on a master cleanse.
Yeah.
Rebecca
That's
staying.
face
She
is
loves
glowing.
No,
cleanse.
this is my way of like this is my piece. Is
For a week?
disciplining myself.
For a week or for a
It looks
day?
like
About a
lemonade,
week.
y'all. It looks like strawberry lemonade.
Yeah.
You just drink all day.
Drink all day.
We'll talk about that
pee
next
all
week. Write that
night.
down, Jeff. And also, we will talk about Gia's new ass.
Wow.
Look at it, look at it, pow,
It is there.
Booty.
Shout out to Keisha Villerson, my trainer.
Ass popping, y'all. Black Girl Pod.
Love you guys.
Socials.
Oh,
Scotty Beam and everything, please.
at Gia Peppers on everything.
At Saphira M at sassbox_.
At Alysha P, ALYSHAP on IG. At Alysha P 819 on Twitter.
At Black Daria, BLVCKDARIA.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
for listening.
Boom.